Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for Springville High School's graduating class of 2025. Please follow me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome to Springville High School's graduation ceremony. We ask that you please turn off all electronic devices and cell phones at this time. For your convenience, to my right is an area where you may stand if you wish to take a picture of your graduate when they receive their diploma. Please remain in the stands behind the closed gate on off the arena floor. In order to make room for everyone, we ask that you remain in your seats until just before your graduate is ready to receive their diploma. Please be courteous to all audience members and graduates when using this area. Our principal, Mr. Fleming, will now present the Outstanding Service Award. The graduation ceremony will then proceed as outlined in your program.
Thank you. You may all be seated. What an awesome sight, graduates. This is awesome. We'd like to present our Outstanding Community Service Award to Cammie Blazer. Come on up, Cammie. Cammie Blazer loves the community of Springville and is a devoted supporter of Springville High. When asked about her service, she said this, quote, "It's my belief that big change comes from many small actions. This includes showing up to community events prepared to pick up afterward, collecting donations of potatoes during the cheer fundraiser to deliver to local food banks, and volunteering time to help organizations like It's Cool to Care, which focuses on breaking down barriers through compassion for others. The best way to make an impact on a community is to show up, and I try to do that in every small way possible," unquote. Cammie also serves on our school community council, and we appreciate her selfless service to our students and the Springville community, and we're proud to recognize Cammie as this year's Outstanding Service Award winner. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm here today to speak to you as, it's not the Valedictorian, it's one that no one knows how to pronounce. Yes, Salutatorian, that's me. I've been doing cross country and track for the past 4 years, and the best part is training in the summer, just like what many of you have to do for your own sports. If you're in football, it's lifting and 2 days in the heat. If you're in cheer, it's hours of stunting and tumbling in a hot gym. Basketball, it's open gyms, conditioning, and tournaments that last all weekend. For me, that summer training is 3 months of getting up at 7 a.m., doing a 6-mile workout, and trying not to get hit by a car during the run. That is peak. It's kind of like preseason training for your sports, except instead of getting hyped in a gym, we're getting sunburned and dehydrated, and still for some reason we think it's fun. High school in many ways follows that same pattern. We're supposed to get up early every day, but those of you who have had first period with me know I'm not very good at that. Anyways, we get up, sit in class for 6 hours, and try not to get hit by a car in the parking lot. Most people think of this high school routine as a race, with graduation being the finish line. But those of you who do sports know that the real work happens before the season even starts. High school is more like summer training, the preparation for what's still to come. With that being said, graduation is more like the bang of the gun at the start of a race, a kickstart to the next part of our lives. And like any race, we don't know exactly what's ahead. There might be hills we weren't expecting, we might need to adjust our pace, but we've got teammates, memories, and hard-earned lessons behind us. That's the kind of stuff that doesn't go away when we leave this building. We've got the people who sat next to us in class, who struggled through the same tests, and who made us laugh when we needed it. We've had teachers who pushed us, even when we didn't want to be pushed, and parents who reminded us, maybe more than once, sorry mom, to stay on top of things. We've had late nights, long practices, awkward school dances, and moments that didn't seem important at the time, but added up to be something real. And even if we don't know exactly what we're running towards, we're not running alone. Up to now, our parents, teachers, and other leaders have helped shape who we are. But now that we're graduating, it's on us. What happens next, who we become, what we stand for, and how we show up in the world. That's our choice going forward. And with that choice comes a clean slate. Not in the sense that we forget everything we've been through, but in the sense that we're finally in charge of what comes next. There's no more templates, no more checklists. From here on out, we get to decide what matters to us and what we work towards. This might seem like a lot of pressure and you might not know what you want to do next, but that's okay. We don't have to have it all figured out, but we do have to keep going. Omni-Man once said, along the way, you're gonna need to do things you don't wanna do, or might not think you can do. It's okay to be scared, and it's natural to doubt yourself, but if you can push through that and do what needs to be done, you'll do just fine. So let's take what we've been giving, this training, this clean slate, whatever you wanna call it, and do something with it. Not because this is the end, but because this is the start of all things that are left to do. Thank you.
All right, before I begin, I want to give a big shout out to one of the many teachers I have a ton of respect for. That's Mr. Morgan. It's his birthday today. It's also his last year here, unfortunately. So, yeah, big shout out. Sorry I was always late to your class. Okay. My name's Nathan J., and I'm honored to speak to you as your valedictorian who barely graduated 4th term. Today I want to talk about something pretty uncontroversial. Let's talk about tariffs. No, don't worry, not that kind of tariffs. I'm talking about the tariffs that we put on our own dreams, opportunities, and relationships. Here's what I mean by that. We all have things we dream of doing, but it's easy to fall into the habit of procrastinating these goals over and over again until they never happen. How many of you had ideas for high school that you never did? When it comes to schoolwork, procrastination can actually work. It may be ugly, but there are deadlines, so we get it done. But when it comes to our own ambitions, there are no deadlines. Without deadlines, it's easy for perfectionism to hold us back. This is one of the keys to stop putting tariffs on our opportunities. We have to avoid falling into the trap of short-term perfectionism. Long-term, it's great to have big, high expectations. But short-term, we can't wait for our situation to be perfect. We can't wait for everything to be in its right place, because it won't ever be. You don't need to be a genius to start that company. You don't need perfect clothes to ask that guy out. You don't need flawless form to try out for that team. You don't need expensive equipment to record that song or anything else your goal may be. Just do it. Adopt the logic of mathematician John van Neumann. If you say, why not tomorrow? I say, why not today? If you say today at 5 o'clock, I say, why not at 1 o'clock? There's no better time to act than now. Of course, if we act now, we will encounter failures, but these can't be viewed as setbacks. In fact, they're exactly how we get better. I know embracing failure sounds like cliche advice, but I really do believe it's useful to take this to the extreme. If you know every single possible way to make a rocket explode, you know how to get to space. If you know every way to fail, you know how not to fail. Maybe some people miss opportunities because they're scared of judgment when they try. It's our responsibility to fix this too. Just like we shouldn't put tariffs on our opportunities, we can't put them on our relationships. As you leave high school and do whatever life holds for you, do everything you can to meet people and reach out. Get to know everyone you meet. Don't be a cynic or pessimist with others, just as you shouldn't be with yourself. As Teddy Roosevelt said, it is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again. But if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat. I promise you that when you look back on your life, the guilt of inaction will always be 1,000 times worse than the sting of failure. So go out and try things, make things. We are literally the art city, so we should know a thing or two about that. Art isn't just painting, art's creation, art is expression, art is exploration and work and camaraderie. Never put tariffs in your dreams, opportunities, or friendships. Thank you.
the sound of voices too. The sound of me singing with you, helping each other to make it through. This is the sound of voices too. This is the sound of voices too. This is the sound of voices three, singing together in harmony, surrendering to the mystery. This is the sound of voices three. This is the sound of voices three. Could join us. Sound of all of us, singing with love and the will to trust. Leave the rest behind, it'll turn to dust. This is the sound of all of us. This is the sound of one voice. This is the sound of one voice. This is the sound of one voice. This is the sound of one voice.
As someone who's been both behind the lens and behind the aux cord this year, I've seen some things. Some of them I can't unsee. But mostly, I've seen the kind of moments that don't go viral, but should. This year, I was lucky enough to be the school videographer, and I've been helping with the Ville since sophomore year. I've tried to capture as many teams, games, and events as I could. Having this job has given me an incredible window into our student body, one that I feel uniquely blessed to have experienced. Let me attempt to convey what I've seen in the imperfect medium that is the English language. I don't want to resort to simple platitudes, but this is a special group of people. I've seen the way we can rally in a game, not only our incredible teams, but all of us. The light in your eyes as you cheer, giving everything you've got to the players, the people around you. I watch the way our dance teams, our performing arts reach for the stars to share their talents. I see selfless effort on display. Selfless effort, giving your all, dedicating your energies to a single-minded goal of bettering the lives of those around you. People talk a lot about service, and I think a lot of our minds go straight to things like helping with yard work, working at a food bank, all good things, but often something simpler, and in my opinion, even more beautiful is overlooked. There's incredible, meaningful service embedded in the purposeful actions we take, even the small ones, especially the small ones. When cheer creates their pyramids, when you dap up a friend in the hall, when choir sings the national anthem, that pyramid, that dap up, that song, it's not for them. It's a gift. It is a decisive action taken to lift up the people you are surrounded by, literally for the cheer pyramid. That is what this class is all about. It's about seeing a need, seeing an opportunity to give and fulfilling it. And those little moments, they're just important as the big ones. Is there really a difference between Levitt throwing a touchdown pass and Talon Gosman high-fiving everyone in the whole hall? Between Drewski hitting that dunk and Jackson LeBaron giving us his Touching the Untouchables videos? I don't think so. These are just broad examples of the hundreds of large and small-scale moments I've noticed, each a conscious decision to give to our peers. My favorite moment of the whole year was DJing prom for that reason. It wasn't watching you all go crazy for whatever Justin Bieber song was playing. It was the look on your faces, the smiles as we all collectively sang and danced, no worries to what people were thinking because nobody cared. We were all there to lift each other, to create a beautiful party that wouldn't exist without us. Let me tell you, no one was there for the first 45 minutes, and it's not the same by yourself. That dance is the literalization of our whole being more than the sum of our parts. Each of our individual, perfectly imperfect selves joining together to scream Fiend, Katy Perry, and God Bless the USA. Nobody else is singing God Bless the USA after every dance. That's a Springville thing. Because we do our own thing. When it's cool to hate, I see you step into love. When it's cool not to care, I see you work harder. That isn't saying we're perfect. We just finished high school. We all have our failures, our biases, our own challenges. I'm not denying that. I want you to remember for a moment a time you wish you were a little kinder, a better person. We all have that moment, sometimes many. But please, rather than regret your past, use it to motivate your best efforts to judge less, to love more. I've tried my best to get to know all of you, to see all of us in action, and I've seen beautiful, beautiful things. Everyone here is trying so hard to do better and be better, to give more than they can give. Let this graduation be a mark and reward resulting from that very effort, not just a ritual. Let all of your efforts here be a spark to your blaze. Let it create a gorgeous inferno of trying and working. Wherever you go next, college, work, missions, the unknown, don't wait for the world to light your flame. Be the spark, be the fire, and when someone else needs it, light it for them. Fuel the fire forever.
Don't know how I'm supposed to go after that one. I have known that I've had to give this speech for over a year at this point, and I still waited until the last possible second to write it. It has taken me a long time to think about what to write, and truthfully, the only word I could fathom is congratulations. You have made it this far. You made it through the school year and made it far enough to sit in front of your peers today. Some days were probably harder than others, but you made it through. The theme for graduation this year is a lyric from a Hosier song, quote, "Not an end, but the start of all things that are left to do," end quote. A couple of months ago, us seniors in the senior class presidency were asked to come up with a theme for graduation. We searched for the perfect quote and landed on this one without thinking much about it other than we liked the simplicity of it. It was only until a couple weeks ago when I was doing my friend's nails and my sister came in to talk to us about her college classes. That's when my friend said, you know, it's so weird that this isn't the end of it. And it really made me think, you know, she's right. This isn't the end of it. So many of us have so much school and new jobs to go through to get where we would like to be. I'm the youngest of 6 kids, all of whom have passed through the halls of our beloved school, and I've watched them each graduate. I always thought high school was the end, and when I got to the finish line, I would be done. But it's not. I slowly watched each of them move on to bigger things in their lives: work, love, family, service, more school, an array of everything. That's when the theme had so much more meaning to me. You're not done when high school is over. We have hopes, dreams, and aspirations that we have yet to even see the beginning of. Graduation is not the end, it is simply the beginning of the rest of our lives. I have tried to slow down and take in this school year a little more than I have in years past. Watching how we all come together more in the last year of high school than we ever have before has been the most fun thing to experience. Planning all of our events has been lots of work, but so worth it in the end. There's something so full circle about watching the sunrise at the beginning of the year to watching the sunset at the end. There can be something so beautiful about closing and opening the year together. Moving on after high school can be a little scary, but if I had any advice to share, it would be that this is your life. You are not in a race with anyone. This is it. Slow down and take it all in. And, in the wise words of Walt Disney, quote, "Around here, we don't look backwards for very long. We keep moving forward, opening up new doors and doing new things because we're curious. And curiosity keeps leading us down new paths," end quote. Life is what happens when you're making plans. Chances are most of you won't be doing what you expect 5 years from now, so enjoy the journey. Stop waiting for the perfect moment and seize the opportunity. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. They are opportunities to learn and grow, so make lots of them. As we all go our separate ways and go out on our own, be curious, be friendly, and try new things. And remember, once a red devil, always a red devil. Thank you.
Thank you for the wonderful words and beautiful music we've heard thus far. I'm so grateful to be here with you today. Welcome to family, friends, and honored guests and those joining us on live stream. Thank you so much. Thank you for the support, encouragement, and love that you've given to our students. No one makes it to this point alone, and your presence here means everything. I also want to acknowledge those seated behind me, the dedicated faculty and staff of Springville High. They've played a vital role in your students' journey. Give them a hand. Yeah, let's go. Just a special moment to recognize someone who has made an incredible impact on Springville High. Mrs. Susan Langford, after 20 years of dedicated service as an outstanding math teacher, is retiring this year. She will be greatly missed, and we wish to thank her and wish her well. And now, graduates, we're glad you're here. Congratulations, you made it. This was truly a great year to be a Red Devil. If you don't mind me taking just a couple of minutes to recognize some of the kind of incredible moments and firsts that have made this year memorable and point out some of the great accomplishments. So 9 of our students earned associate degrees. 84 of our students earned the seal of biliteracy, including 28 in Chinese, 47 in Spanish, and 9 in American Sign Language. This year we hosted our first ever cultural celebration assembly, recognizing and honoring the rich diversity that makes our school so special. We also introduced some exciting new courses for students. Mr. Deming launched an oceanography marine biology concurrent enrollment course, the first of its kind in the state. Mrs. Navazapian brought the Student Leadership and Success CE course into our Latinos in Action. We supported our newest students by offering bilingual physics and math classes, helping our recent immigrants bridge into academic success. Mrs. Motzel started a Peoples of the Pacific course, filling an important need for representation in education. And in a huge step for inclusion, we launched unified sports through our Special Olympics. Thank you. We were all inspired by the grit, heart, and determination of every one of these athletes who participated. Here's a couple small ones. We also piloted a new digital hall pass system, which I know you all loved, and we added a substance abuse advocate to further support student well-being. All right. In athletics and activities, I want to point this out. Our student athletes earned 44 individual academic all-state awards, more than we've ever had. And we had 5 teams that earned academic all-state awards. In fact, Springville High had the highest average team GPA in all of 5A. That's not just winning, it's winning smart. Our girls golf team won their first ever region championship. Softball also brought home a region title, and our dance company received a superior rating at our state dance festival. Our marching band took 3rd in state. Thank you, band. We had individual state champions in girls wrestling, boys track, and in unified sports. And speaking of milestones, we made major progress on the new Springville High School building. And yes, we finally got that new parking lot and a very efficient roundabout that I know you all loved getting to know. One more year in the old building and then we'll be moving. To commemorate our building, the class of 2025 has presented us with this senior gift. You'll notice here to my right. And this beautiful painting was done by our own SHS alumni, Jane Wilson, from the class of 2021. It will hang in the new building. Thank you, Jane. Couple more. 3 of our creative writing students were published in literary magazines. One of our students took first place in the UHSAA Sportsmanship Video Contest. He just spoke to you. It's proof that creativity and character go hand in hand. Our SHS students right here earned 9,350 college credits this year, saving more than $2 million of tuition for you. It's actually a 31% increase from last year. We just keep moving forward. And finally, at our senior awards night 2 weeks ago, we awarded over $12 million in scholarships to this class of 2025, the most in Springville history. And that's a huge thanks to many generous local sponsors, families in our Springville community. So yes, this was a year to remember, a year of first, records, and milestones. And the best part, it was you that made it all happen, students. Great job. Now for the time-honored tradition, I get to give a little advice. Let's do it. Here's what I want you to know, students. In a world full of challenges, please remember, you are the solution. Yes, I know that might sound like something you'd find on a motivational poster next to a mountain or a soaring eagle, but it's true. You each have talents, strengths, and skills that this world desperately needs. And if you use them well, you can change the world. Now go do it. Please don't sit on the sidelines. Don't doom scroll your 20s away. Don't give up on society because it is a little messy. Find meaningful ways to make a difference and keep showing up. And here's the good news. There's not just one way to do this. Some of you will start by going to college. Some of you will begin missionary service. Some of you will learn a trade. Some of you will start a business. Some of you may even get married. Some of you may realize that adulting is too expensive and you might move back in with your parents, and that's okay. But whatever path you take, do it well, own it. Find your strengths, lean into them, and look for ways to use them to make life better for others. How do I know that this class of 2025 can change the world? Because, like Luke, I've seen you. I've seen you overcome challenges and become stronger. I've seen you serve others, lift each other up. I've seen you accomplish greatness, and yes, I've seen you had great fun while doing it all. And that, my friends, is what gives me hope. You are awesome. So my last piece of advice is this: as you go out to change the world, do it with kindness. Be good to people. Love and honor those who teach, guide, and support you. Denzel Washington once said, at the end of the day, it's not about what you have or even what you've accomplished. It's about what you've done with those accomplishments. It's about who you've lifted up, who you've made better. It's about what you've given back. So now, graduates of 2025, it's your turn to lift up, to make better, and to give back. And you will change the world. Thank you, and congratulations, you made it. So, Mrs. Acor and the Nebo School Board of Education, I verify that these candidates have met all the requirements for graduation, and I now present them to you and to the Nebo School Board for graduation from Springville High School.
Good morning, everyone. We've heard great advice, so stick with me just a couple more minutes. I'm very excited to be with you here today. Graduation always has me reflecting on my own life and what it felt like to sit where you are sitting right now. Surprisingly, I also graduated as a devil, though not a red devil. I was a Page sand devil from the small town of Page, Arizona. During the winter, Page was a sleepy little place with not too much activity, as you can imagine. But the summer, wow, that was a different story. Page would come alive with tourists from all over the world. And like many teens in small towns, I had summer jobs to keep me busy. I worked for Lake Powell boat tours, wilderness river adventures on the Colorado River. And during my college summers, I worked as a tour guide at Glen Canyon Dam. Now, I'm the oldest of several siblings, and they liked that last job best. Why? Because they could call me that damn tour guide without getting into trouble. My tour started in the visitor center, looking over a massive gorge and dam, the structure that separates Lake Powell from the Colorado River. We would ride on an elevator built actually inside the canyon wall, walk out on top of Glen Canyon Dam, and look up at the bridge that spans 1,200 feet across the gorge. And I tell the story of that bridge, and I'll relate some of that with you now. In the 1950s, engineers faced a massive challenge: how to build a bridge across the wide, wild expanse of Glen Canyon. The bridge was essential to complete the Glen Canyon Dam, and it would go on to become one of the highest arch bridges in the US, towering 700 feet above the Colorado River below. But early in construction, they discovered something that was really troubling. The canyon walls, where the bridge was supposed to anchor, was too fragile. They had two choices: abandon the project or dig deeper. They chose the second. They excavated deep into the rock, filled the space with concrete, and created a stronger foundation than the one that they had started with. That part of the story always stayed with me because it's a power metaphor for life. Sometimes the foundation we think we can count on, our plans, our relationships, even sometimes our beliefs, prove to be unstable. And in those moments, you have a choice. You can give up, or you can dig deeper. You dig into resilience, you pour into patience, you anchor yourself in hope and hard work and self-belief. There's another part of the bridge story that I love. After two sides of the bridge were built, there was just one final piece that would connect it all: the keystone, or in this case, the key bolt right in the middle. But they couldn't place it right away. Why? Because the steel needed time to sit. It was being shipped from California. The steel had to sit and acclimate and adjust. Only after it reached the perfect temperature, expanded just right within a half an inch on a hot August afternoon, could the engineers put that key bolt and insert it, and the bridge was completed. Sometimes life is like that too. We think we're ready. We still need time to grow, to settle, and to become. Simon Sinek once said, "Working hard for something we don't care about is called stress. Working hard for something we love is called passion. There is no single timetable for finding your passion. Some people discover it at 15, some at 50, some after standing in the heat for a while, just like that steel, learning patience and strength along the way. And that's okay. To me, the key bolt or the keystone symbolizes the moment when everything we've learned comes together. Your education, your experiences, your relationships, your growth, all of it forming a strong, steady bridge from who you were to who you are becoming. And then that moment comes when your passion meets your preparation, you'll be ready. As Henry David Thoreau once said, "Go confidently in the direction of your dreams, live the life you have imagined." And if you haven't imagined it yet, that's okay too. Give yourself time, acclimate, adjust, let yourself grow. Because your keystone or key bolt moment will come, and when it does, your foundation will be strong, your bridge is steady, and your passion will take you further than you ever dreamed was possible. So, in conclusion, congratulations, Red Devils. We are so proud of you. And finally, Mr. Fleming, on behalf of the Nebo Board of Education, I proudly accept the Springville High Red Devils, class of 2025.
Okay, we're to that time. Let me just remind you, this area over here, these 2 rows that have been reserved are for taking pictures. So please don't come into that area until your student is almost there. And then please vacate once they're gone so we just don't have too much congestion there. That would be appreciated. So students, we're there. Would the first row of graduates please stand and line up to receive your diplomas?
Danica Randy Gwilliam.
This microphone. Microphone. This microphone is not working out. Are you not on? No.
Marco Andrew Aguayo. Amy Haley Aldama.
Jesse Adrián Alfaro Bañuelos.
Diana Saray Alfaro Banuelos.
Micah Paul Allen.
Caleb Bradley Anderson.
Kylie Brianne Anderson.
Quincy Lynn Anderson.
Haley Rubí Aquino.
Natalie Aragon.
Samantha Marie Arabe. Edgar Argüelles.
Allison Ryan Arnold. High honors.
Aiden Michael Swayze Arthur.
Reagan Astle. Honors.
Abigail Atwood.
Lillian Jane Austin.
Willis Scott Austin, high honors.
Jackson John Averett.
Spencer Seth Averett, honors.
Lydia Jane Bailey. High honors.
Kelton Michael Banks.
Riley Lyman Bard. High honors.
Ava Marie Barker, high honors.
McKinley Sue Bartholomew. High honors.
Natalie Dawn Barwick, high honors.
Jack J. Beach.
Violet Summer Beasley.
Ryan William Bell. High honors.
Brooke Andrea Bergenson, high honors.
Kevin Bernal Roque.
Irving Beltrán Venegas.
Marissa McKell Betts. High honors.
Sage Nicola Alai Besila.
Mac Jameson Bigler. High honors.
Courtney Dawn Bingham, high honors.
Kobe John Blackburn.
Gavin Ryan Blackburn.
Paige Lily Blackburn.
Chloe Kanani Blasser.
Logan Matthew Bockenstedt.
Henry Robert Bond.
Trace Michael Boring.
Haley Norma Bowers.
Analia Boyer, high honors.
Larson Randall Boyer, high honors.
Olivia Lee Brady, honors.
Darren Scott Briggs, high honors.
Chloe Shea Brooke, high honors.
Lucy Ann Broughton, high honors.
Brecklin Shea Brown, high honors.
Nicholas James Buttle. Grecia Loania Bueno Cadena.
Madison Juliana Bumgarner, honors.
Lydia Robin Berna, high honors.
Madeline Rosa Berna, high honors.
Luke Benjamin Burrows.
Alistair Morgan Burton, high honors.
Isaiah Jean Campbell and Benjamin Douglas Campbell.
Marigold Cannon, honors.
Christine Amelia Cardenas.
Natalie Carranza.
Susan Melissa Carrillo Robles, high honors.
Sofia Andrea Castro, high honors.
Christopher Castro Martinez.
Maria Alejandra Ceballos Marin.
Juleni Denis Cerrillo Robles. Charity Kiala Chang, high honors.
Brooklyn Grace Charrington, high honors.
Brooks William Child.
Nathan Arthur Childers, high honors.
Crew Cole Christensen.
Talon Jackson Christensen, high honors.
Tyler Sage Cisneros, high honors.
Lila Clanton.
Jacob Spencer Clark, high honors.
Lauren Grace Clark.
Zachary McKay Clark.
Andrew Albert Clay, Edmund Richard Clay III, high honors.
Madison Rose Clayton, high honors.
Megan Rebecca Clayton, high honors.
Camry M. Clement, high honors.
Madison May Cloward, high honors.
Lana Whitney Clyde, honors.
Briley Cole, high honors.
Easton Thomas Condi, high honors.
Brayley Joe Conrad, high honors.
Caden Nathan Cook, high honors.
Maylee Faith Cooper, high honors.
Mackenzie Alexis Cooper, high honors.
Savannah Diane Copetiers.
Giancarlo Luciano Corona y Sebastián Gustavo Corona, high honors.
Joshua Cortez.
Cohen Tage Cottom, high honors.
Joshua Paul Creer, high honors.
Harper Curtis Daly, high honors.
William Scott Daly, high honors.
Alexis Sue Rackle Davis, high honors.
Janice Davis, high honors.
Reed Samuel Deedy.
Daniel Delgado.
Austin Kurt DeMarco, honors.
Danica K. Dinsdale.
Kelsey Lee DiStefano, high honors.
Lincoln Clark Dorman, high honors.
Ethan Michael Dover, high honors.
Francesca Marie Dunn, high honors.
Kiara Isabella Elias.
Diego Gail Duran Hernandez.
Kyle Trinity Durant.
Jackson Charles Emery.
Amairani Espino Gonzalez. Roberto Boston Evans.
Tyson Joel Eves, high honors.
Asher Mackay Exxon, high honors.
Gwyneth K. Fales, high honors.
Wade Parker Farr, honors.
Tegan Reed Ferrer, high honors.
Sofia Nicole Ferro. Frida Figueroa Flores, high honors.
Mosisi Talifico Finau. Scales Moolale Finau Jr.
Livia Vienne Fischio, high honors.
Tatum Jill Fish, high honors.
Andrew Todd Fisher, high honors.
Ashley Fitzgerald, high honors.
Reese Holden Fleshner.
Olivia Lee Fletcher.
Oliver Frederick Flinders, high honors.
Natalie Jane Florence, high honors.
Catalina Mercedes Flores, high honors.
Robert Grant Folkman, high honors.
John Robert Fowler, high honors.
Robert Michael Fulkerson, high honors.
Rhett McKay Fulmer, honors.
Scarlett Nancy Fulmer, high honors.
Gianna May Furner.
Ryan Evan Galbraith, high honors.
Savannah Heidi Galbraith, high honors.
Sheldon Kendall Galbraith, high honors.
Eric Garcia Castrejon.
Jacqueline Garcia Landeros.
Alessandra Garcia Quintero, high honors.
Haley Yvonne Gardner.
Addison Kate Geary, high honors.
Trenton Eric Giles, high honors.
William James Giles.
Tanner James Golden.
Valeria Goyas Ramirez. Alexa Dalai González. El famoso Benjamín Isaac González.
Nicole Belen Gonzalez.
Talon Isaiah Gossman.
Alec J. Graves, high honors.
Lucilia Wildonen Green.
Sophia Noel Green, high honors.
Allison May Grimwood.
Jackson Paul Hadlock, high honors.
Kaylin Murray Hugland.
Brigham Jacob Hales, high honors.
Elijah James Hall.
Ethan David Hall, high honors.
Heidi Nicole Hamilton.
Taitlin Renee Hanks.
Clark Hiram Hansen.
Andrew Neil Harker.
Ashley Sierra Hardy.
Parker Philip Harrison, high honors.
Emily Abriana Hazel.
Cy Tualeva Hayward, honors.
Emma K. Heaton.
Skylar William Heck, high honors.
Dale Anthony Hennon.
Preston Herder.
Jacob Troy Hill.
Annika Hoagland.
Ethan John Holden, high honors.
Luke McKay Hollingshead, high honors.
Emily Marie Holmes, honors.
Henry Phillip Holmes, high honors.
Jack Roland Holmes.
Soraya Pearl Hoops, high honors.
Rachel Lily Hopkins.
Brighton Bradley Horrocks.
Michael Strom Houts, high honors.
Isaac Daniel Hubbard, honors.
Tate Anthony Huynh.
Lily Ann Hyde.
Drew Frank Hollinger.
Christopher David Ismodes.
Laura Alejandra Inciarte. Jorge Itzlawak.
Maddie McKay Jackson, high honors. Alexander Hine Jackson, Ryan Robert Jackson, high honors.
Abigail Arlene Jarvis, high honors.
Nathan Dale J, high honors.
Saila Jean Charles. Catherine Camille Henson.
Taylor Joyce Jensen.
Molly Mae Jessup.
Ana Laura Jimenez.
Sadie Johansson.
Thomas Justin John, honors.
Brinley Grace Johnson.
Callie Danielle Johnson.
Gavin River Johnson.
Madison Sage Johnson.
Maggie Cherie Johnson, honors.
Oakley Ann Johnson.
Ethan David Johnston, honors.
Andrea Renelle Jones, high honors.
Grayson Carl Anderson Jones.
Ash Jones.
Kian River Jones.
Maddock Emery Jones.
Landon Marcus Kempt.
Mercedes Ataria Kenchana Putra, high honors.
Stephen Patrick Johnson.
Claire Elizabeth Kiefer, high honors.
Robert Julian Killian.
Anne Marie Kitchen, high honors.
Iris Kovac.
Tage Cutler Larson.
Caitlin Itzel Lasso, honors.
Easton Pyra Levitt, high honors.
Jackson Vance LeBaron.
Aubrey Lynn Leck.
Alisa Rebecca Lee, high honors. Chloe Riley, high honors.
Abigail Rebecca Leffler, high honors.
Cole Thomas Levengood.
Jonathan Leva Jr.
Eli Douglas Lydiard, honors.
Gabrielle Marie Lira.
Mason Vili Hassel Lolohea.
Annie Marie Lowe, high honors.
Logan Eric Ludvigsen. Teodoro Rex Lin, high honors.
Aldo Magana.
Asher Gray Mark. The Great Magdalena Marquez, high honors.
Adeline Elizabeth Marshall.
Hayden K. Marshall, high honors.
Robert Alexander Marshall III, honors.
Bailey McKay Mason, high honors. Ashlyn McLean, high honors.
Rachel Susan Matthews, high honors.
Bailey Marie Mayer, high honors.
Allie Nicole Maynard, high honors.
Anna Carol Maines, high honors.
Jarek Dale McCoy, honors.
Easton Lyle McDonald, high honors.
Taylor Jane McDonald, high honors.
Jaden Michael McDonald.
Tenancy June McFadden.
Kimball Roy McPherson, high honors.
Tanner James McNeil, high honors.
Reagan Val McSweeney, high honors.
Brandon John D. Meekum, high honors.
Alan David Mejia.
Francisco Javier Malesio.
Sofia Carolina Melendez Gomez, high honors. Martina Belen Menchi.
Bowen Mylan Metcalf, honors.
Ellie Metler.
Diana Rosario Mesa Flores.
Haley Ann Miller.
Martin Tommy Isaiah Moala.
Brian Isaac Monge.
Kason Jace Montag.
Sydney Noemi Montejo Martinez, high honors.
Taven Lyle Montgomery.
Corbin Taylor Moore.
Lanea Celeste Moore.
Dylan Alice Moore Morris.
Winnie Maud Maurice.
Samuel Tianduo Mortensen, high honors.
Ashlyn Joe Moss, high honors.
Samantha Joe Murray.
Ashton Michael Neal, high honors.
Joshua Cole Nelson.
Melissa Amelia Nelson, honors.
Mia Hope Nelson, high honors.
Nolan C. Nielsen, high honors.
Porter Allen Nielsen.
Porter Bradley Nielsen.
Ava Grace Nielsen.
Christopher Cooper Nielsen.
Is that Tate?
Tate Val Nielsen.
Xander Jack Oki.
Is that you?
Zachary John Olson.
Trevor Callis Ogles.
Scarlett Delia Oldroyd.
Benjamin William Orm, high honors. Gerson Jarek Orozco Asque. Eric David Ortiz Aguayo.
Eston Jordan Oswald.
Parker Forrest Oatley, high honors.
Brigham Nicholas Ovard.
Harper Gregory Osuna.
Zoe Ann O'Donnell.
Roxy Sophia Packard, high honors.
Isaac Joseph Paget.
Logan Martin Palmer, high honors. Veronica Alicia Papini, honors.
Afton Park.
Lily Mae Parker.
Owen Daniel Parkinson, high honors.
Nolan Patton, high honors.
Ethan Larson Patterson, honors.
Toby Morris Pedigo.
Are you going out together? Okay.
Brianna Nicole Perez. Andalyn Josephine Stumpworth III, Peterson, high honors.
Brady Richard Peterson, high honors.
Callie Jane Peterson, high honors.
Drake John Peterson.
Jack Miles Pickering.
Brighton Merrill Pickett, high honors.
Mason Alexander Pierce.
Caroline Louise Poole.
Emma Nicole Potts.
Austin David Powell, high honors.
Jeffrey Dallin Price, high honors.
Nicholas James Pugh. Karime Yvette Quintana.
Isabel Suzanne Ramel.
Delano Cage Rangel.
Nixon Lane Rapier, high honors.
Porter Hugh Ray.
Maddox Paul Reed, high honors.
Joseph Christopher Rees, high honors.
Abel Reyes.
Aaron Milo Reynolds, high honors.
Brody Curtis Reynolds, high honors.
Kira Sue Riches, high honors.
Skylar Alexander Riches, honors.
Max Ryan Richens.
Samantha Lisa Rigtrup.
Isaiah Elise Rivera.
Melanie Robbins.
Mary Abigail Roberts.
Holly Louise Robertson.
Taylin Natalie Robertson, honors.
Ava Madison Robles, high honors.
Ethan Christopher Rock, high honors.
Maximus Scott Rogers.
Jonathan Ivan Romero.
Maylee Renee Romney, high honors.
Cambria Page Ross, high honors.
Emma Kate Roundy, high honors.
Spencer Nielsen Rowe, high honors. Joanna Ruiz Gaitan.
Easton Worth Rummage.
Alicia Pamela Rutenberg.
Brian Edison Salazar, high honors.
Neely Sanchez Salazar.
David Philip Sanders, high honors.
Emily Guadalupe Santiago Rodriguez, high honors.
Rachel Emma Schmutz, high honors.
John Otto Schoenfeld.
Agatha Lorene Schofield, high honors.
Bennett Carl Scott, high honors.
Corbin Jameson Scott, Talon Jameson Scott.
Emery Ann Scott, high honors.
Caitlin Marie Sedgwick, high honors.
Kaila Alice Semmersheim.
Zane Bronson Simonson.
Emma Shimonu, honors.
Ellie Tresa Signs, high honors.
Zion Adizon Sione.
Logan Jesse Sitterud, high honors.
Xander Gage Smart, honors.
Aislinn Leilani Smith.
Sydney McKenna Smith.
Kate Audrey Smith, high honors.
Brenna Marie Smythe, high honors.
Zella Lucy Sunada Turnage, honors.
Erin Luana Snapchinny. Evelyn Solis Amezcua.
Star Marie Solorio.
Megan Christine Sutter.
Nephi Paul Spenlove, high honors.
Hunter Matthew Spurgeon, honors.
Trevor Nolan Squire, honors.
Alex Steele, high honors.
Macy Elizabeth Stevens.
Lizzie Bay Stevens.
Abby Gail Ann Stewart.
Bailey Lynn Stewart.
Evan Andrew Straw, high honors.
Paul Christopher Streams.
Fisher Judd Strong, high honors.
Hallie Rosalind Strong, high honors.
Burton Christopher Sutherland, honors.
Savannah Harley Swanner, high honors.
Troy William Swap, honors.
Scarlett Sonnenberg, high honors.
Hazel Jane Smith.
Millie Julian Thompson. Mateo Aurelius Tamayo Mason.
Hiram Joseph Tangren.
Raina Lynn Tangren.
Carter Dustin Tanner, high honors.
Elena Tapia Reyes.
Corbin Lloyd Taylor.
Elizabeth Louise Taylor, high honors.
Kelton Lee Taylor.
Francisco Caleb Tejeda.
Nadia Patricia Templeman, high honors.
Jonathan Thomas Tinney, high honors.
Peter Curtis Thacker.
Jane Marie Thompson, high honors. Owen Scott Thorpe, high honors.
Hannah Michelle Thorson.
Giovanni Josue Tienda.
Rihanna Victoria Valdivia.
Caden Allen Tingy.
Easton Don Van Sickle, honors.
Tyler Evan Trescott.
Bryce Hunter Turley, high honors.
Camille Elizabeth Ungurin, high honors.
Carter Matthew Uresk.
Isaac Luther Utt, high honors.
Casanova Hamani Valetti.
Kaysen Ian Van Orman.
Jackson Jason Van Patten, high honors. Kiva LeVay Van Osdale.
Emily Giselle Vargas.
Lauren Mary Vargas Centeno.
Brody Riding Vest, high honors.
Alexander James Vieweg, high honors.
Samuel Michael Wofford.
Isabel Rose Walsh, high honors.
Dallas James Walker, honors.
John Owen Walker, honors.
Madeline Grace Walker, high honors.
Isabel Gudbjorg Ward, high honors.
Leah Bella Webb.
Brinley Waite, high honors.
Christopher Lee Wesley.
Madeline Jo West, high honors.
Kellen Vance Whiting.
Luke Aaron Whiting, high honors.
Eddie Louise Wild.
Kaylin Summer Williams.
Grace Wilson, high honors.
Gavin Eric Winch, high honors.
Logan James Wolf.
McKenna Wolfgram.
Morgan Malia Wolfgram.
Cody Charles Woods.
Bridget Olivia Yost.
Abigail Marie Young.
Ethan Jarrett Young.
Andrew James Young.
Brianna Rose Young, high honors.
Parker Nathan Young, high honors.
Dallas Brock Sobel, high honors.
Joel David Arbon. Heavenly Aaliyah Beyond Brewer.
Aiden Emerson Coford.
Keaton Daniel Collins.
Tristan Levi Cecil.
Mia Cassandra Garza.
Aime Guadalupe Hernandez.
Braden J. Pulley.
Kayla Faith Berry. Tanya Magdalena Balboa Droguet.
Lahela May Langton.
Torsten Eric Nielsen.
Catherine Louise Velupek.
Neve Hope Brown.
Juan Carlos Escamilla Lupio.
Antonio Benjamin Sosa.
Preston Daniel Woodward.
We wish to thank everyone for attending our graduation ceremony. After the tassel moving, please allow the graduates to exit the building before you leave your seats. After the graduates have exited, please quickly move outside to greet your graduates. Graduates of Springville High School, class of 2025, please stand. Follow me in moving your tassels from right to left. You are now graduated. graduates please exit down the center aisle and through the doors at the rear of the concourse? Thank you for coming, everyone.
Thank you.